Love and happiness make you do right.
Yeah, that's right.
Love and happiness make you do right.
Yo, it make you do right.
We've got now two-time defending champion Ryan Cavallari of the Reedy race. What did it feel? What did it mean to you to wrap this up for a second year in a row?
It means a lot. Everyone knows how hard it is to win this race, and it takes a lot of effort, prepping and just getting your stuff together. And it's huge, for me. I'm a local here and race here once a week and practice and stuff. So, it's huge for me, and boosts my confidence, and definitely good for my sponsors, and everyone got to see it here. So.
After day one, you were in the hunt, but there were a couple drivers that were a couple of points ahead. Was there at any time that you thought, like, man, I really need to score some more points?
Yeah, I think I did what I had to do this year. I knew last year that I was consistent. I had a few wins, but I had a couple ups and downs. And this year, I kind of just wanted to focus on just being really consistent and making my weekend fun. And my worst finish was a 4, so. I never had a run that I was kind of bummed about. I thought I had great runs. People ran fast against me, and, that's what they do. They want to run with the best, and, they make it challenging for everybody. So I thought at the end of the weekend I did what I had to do, and I was fortunate, to capitalize on a few mistakes, and that's what the Reedy race is all about, is capitalizing and being there, for the last race, and it goes down to the last time. Every year it seems like, and it's a point a difference. So, yeah, I'm stoked.
It became apparent at the end of day 2, moving into today's last 4 rounds, that it was going to kind of be a battle between you and Mayfield. And I think Mayfield actually beat you in a couple of the races that you guys had the same heat together. So, did you think that things started getting urgent toward the end of the day?
I was pretty confident in my 4-wheel in practice, and I was one of the top guys, laying down the lap times. And, this layout was maybe a little bit challenging to get around, and especially when you're racing another guy at your same level, and they don't make mistakes very often. So, I fed as much as I could to the cat, and it didn't want to eat it. So I'm just stoked at the end of the week that we got the W, but, everyone ran really well, and, Mayfield gave it a hell of a shot. I just kind of bit him in that last race, and that's the hard part about the race, because you have to start in the back. You're not normally used to that, going in the last race, and it's on the line, so it's definitely something that throws you for a loop. I was fortunate this year. I was on the second row, and it definitely gave me a better shot to take the overall.
Any sponsors and people you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Team Associated, Team Orion, AKA Airtronics, Sidewinder, Upgrade RC, DeBrano Designs, just everyone else behind me, like MIP, Longshore, they're all supporters, and everyone that helps me get here, like my dad and stuff like that. So, thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Standing here with 20-year-old Team Lessie racing driver from Columbus, Ohio, J.P. Richards. You're soaked in champagne. We both don't actually smell all that good. That stuff was awful. But you must be pretty pumped right now.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This is such a, huge race to a lot of people, with Mike Reedy and everything, starting the race and everything. So, I never personally got to meet him, but from the stories I've heard, he sounds like a truly amazing man and everything. So to be able to win a race like this, that means so much to so many people is really cool. The
two-wheel drive open class was one of the toughest this weekend. You didn't quite have the traction of the four-wheel drive guys, so especially with the tight and tricky layout, it was pretty tough to race once you guys got into the main events.
Yeah, the two-wheel track to me suited two-wheel a lot better. I struggled in four-wheel just a little bit, and finally got my setup great for that final for my C main, and then couldn't find the bump in the B, so ended up in like 8th or 9th in the B or something.
And you started up front in the two-wheel main event. Do you think that was a huge advantage on this layout?
Oh yeah, especially on this layout. From here and talking to a lot of people, they were saying it was not quite as hard as people were hoping, but it provided for awesome racing. I mean, it brought out the really good drivers, who could put a clean run together, because the top 10 were separated by like 2.9 seconds and everything. So any minor errors, could send you back like 4 spots. So yeah, definitely having a front row start was a big deal.
And the qualifiers that you guys ran all weekend were 5 minutes. And, typically where we'd run 3 5-minute A mains, instead we ran 2 10s. Was it hard to push it for the extra 5 minutes?
No, usually, for the 5 minutes, it was easy. I mean, like you said, everybody does the traditional 5 minutes for qualifiers and everything, but it was the mains that were definitely tricky for sure.
And the double A main format, I mean, obviously you won it, A main number 1, and you going into the second main event. You weren't starting first. You were starting outside of Brent Telke. So, what was your strategy going into that main? Because you knew that you didn't necessarily have to win it.
Right. Yeah, I knew I didn't have to win. I knew that so long as Brent stayed out front, I knew Brent had really good speed out there. So I knew that if I just stay in second and just stay behind him, and so long as I beat Kevin Motter, that as long as I stayed ahead of him, that everything would go good.
And there were a couple of times that you were faster than Brent Telke at certain points during the race, and it seemed like you locked up the brakes a couple of times and not run him over. Did you start getting nervous at any point?
No, not really. Like I said, since I knew that I just had to stay behind Brent and I didn't have to win, that brought a ton of pressure off of me. So I was happy just sitting behind him in second, and knew that if I stayed there, I could cruise to the win.
And how excited are you for the Invitational class next year after watching all of them compete this weekend?
Super pumped. I'm really excited to be able to be a part of that and everything, that unique format. So should be a good time.
Any sponsors or people you want to thank?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to thank TLR, Horizon, Airtronics, AKA, The Loft RC, Viper RC, 920 Designs, my family back home for all their continued support, and then my local track, Pete and Wayne at The Loft RC for all their support and everything.
Congratulations, man. Go change your T-shirt.
Thank you very much.
Standing here with 15-year-old Team Associated driver Spencer Rivkin. Why are you soaked in champagne?
Well, I just finished off winning at four-wheel drive the open class of Reedy race, and man, it was a tough race. A lot of help from Ryan Mayfield, and I wouldn't have done it without him and my dad. And that's just put together 2 runs, and that was it. Came out good.
And this is your local track. You had some really good practice, and then obviously you were top qualifier. How much pressure did you feel going into the first main event?
I felt, a lot of pressure, but I also knew that pressure can get to you, so I just kept it low. This isn't actually my home track. I actually live in Arizona, so it was a little more advantage on Motter because this is his home track. He races here every week, and I knew he was going to come out fast, but I know I can see a 10-minute run, and it came out really good.
And you finished second in the first round, but obviously we saw Kevin win the first round from deep in the starting grid. So what were you thinking going into the second one?
I knew that he started fourth, I think, and I started first. But it was gonna be a tough race because everybody knew that there's still a chance that someone else can win. It was me, Motter, and a couple other people, but I knew to stay in front of him and it'd be good. And he made a couple mistakes early on, and I just kept safe. And then the guys, when I crashed over the front of the driver's stand, and the 2 guys that were in front of me, they weren't having any chance to win, so I just kept behind them, and really it came out good.
And how excited are you to race in the Invitational class next year?
Really excited. I like heads-up racing. That's one of my favorite racing to do. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
And any sponsors, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, Team Associated, Reedy, LRP, J Concepts, Airtronics, Stick 1 Racing, and my dad, Ryan Mayfield, and that's it.
Great, thanks, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Down, I'm breaking them down. These walls of hatred embracing my town, closing us in to corrupt the souls, telling us to buy jealousy with trust is sold. Now we've heard the story told, the story is old.